Ofrenda. I thought this was really cool. I actually looked up the word. I wasn't sure what it meant. And basically it's an offering for the deceased. So I thought that helped me, and it made a lot of sense with the performance in the scenes. I thought the music was really good costumes. I thought the performer had really nice body control, great movements, and really good control, given that a lot of it was sort of slow and thought out. Just really love the landscape too, and the camera work here. Um, I liked when the camera went in really close up to her eye and then kind of went into her mind, sort of into her soul through her eyes. Um, and it just felt like she was performing this ritual where at the end of it, she had a freedom, a burden was lifted. It was a weight lifted off of her, like sort of like the grief that she's been carrying around. I don't know. I just thought it was really neat, cool to watch all the way around. It just kept me interested, and I really loved the performance and the choreography. So great job.
I saw a lot of symbolism in Ofrenda. I thought it was a really beautiful film about a young woman struggling with a burden, and sort of carrying that weight with her until she eventually learns to find that balance in the end, and she finds enlightenment. So I thought the symbolism in this was really cool and handled really well. The dancing was also really beautiful, really cool sort of interpretive dance. You could really feel this dancer, this actress's internal turmoil, this mental turmoil that she's in. Um, she feels trapped in the beginning until she finally escapes into the open. And I thought the editing was very interesting with the use of the split screen, sort of also embodying that chaotic inner turmoil that she's having. So I thought that was a really great use of the split screen editing. Um, so yeah, the just seeing her find herself and unraveling her burden with the red string. I thought all these little uh, additions of symbolism were really cool in this, and it added a lot to the dance. So yeah, I really enjoyed this film.
This film is called Ofrenda, or Offering. This is an intriguing, well done dance short. A single dancer is filmed in a rocky, isolated area. The dancer's moves are evocative and sensual, and the dancer's long brown hair is so effective, almost as a shield off the top. Love the flowing wardrobe too, especially the pants that are opened on the side for ease of movement. The use of bright light on the dancer and rock was gorgeous. I also enjoyed the interplay between the dancer and the rock. The rock almost seemed to take on a role of its own, underfoot, in the water, and on the dancer's head. What also set this piece apart for me was the strong, sharp, piercing sound of the pipe music. It really kept me alert to the lovely choreography. I also enjoyed when the screen was cut into four parts, each with a different dance move. Great job.
Ofrenda. I think this was a very interesting short. We see this human, let's say this person at the beginning, the first few minutes, the first couple of minutes, we don't really know if the main character is a male or female, because she's covering her face with the hair, and then we see this woman, she's trying to escape from a what it looks like a prison cell, an old prison cell from the Middle Ages in a castle probably. And then when she frees herself, she goes and she drops the rock in the water. This maybe symbolizes, and then she jumps in the water too. So maybe this is symbolizing that she's freeing herself from her jail, from a prison, but then she wakes up in it once again. I think there was a very powerful and symbolic meaning overall behind the short, accompanied by a fantastic choreography and an even better music. I enjoyed it from the start to finish, and I think the choice, the performance, the main actress was absolutely brilliant. Congratulations.
My favorite part is to see the ultra wide shots of her outside in the space. It's beautiful, brown, earth tones galore. We get a side by side of these different point of views. Her costuming is flowing and flexible. The string begins to unravel, and she wraps this yarn with this rock, and it's essentially this piece of her. and she tosses it off in the cliff into the body of water, and she jumps to follow. And the sequence that follows, it brings us back inside, and the rock begins to flow above her head. And then you notice that her head now has this gashing wound, and it's signifying that she didn't survive this dive, and perhaps that this piece of her that was detached from her ultimately led to her death.
Brenda, I mean, I got this feeling of entrapment, like she's trapped, like she's a prisoner. She's seeking a release. It's all this tension from feeling like I'm not free. She's uncertain to where she's going. And when she is finally freed, there's this magnificence of this vastness of this scenery where they chose to shoot this. I'm very curious as to where this was filmed. It looks like a no man's land of just openness. And it's just a contradiction between the trappedness of the cell that we felt in the beginning, the feeling of entrapment in this prison, to this wide openness of this world. And then she's back in this prison. And then it left me wondering, oh, was this freedom just an illusion? Was this freedom just within her mind? Or was this freedom an actuality?